she was rather young. She was standing at the counter of a dusty old arcade. She must have weighed at least 200 pounds. But everything she sold was slim and finely made. I'd seen nothing so enchanting for so long. This was Montreal, I was hiding from the rain. She wore black fingernails and went right into a song as she slowly came to me with this refrain. I'm selling all my mother's clothes, her lingerie, her skirts and coats. Her beauty was as pure as this affair is sordid. And I'm selling all my mother's clothes, and yes, I find it morbid. She chain-smoked as she handled dark velour. These handmade things she showed me in her dramatic fashion. She saw for me these clothes held an allure. The moiré and silk seemed to stir my passion. It was Dior, it was Chanel, a certain cut I seemed to see. The black-nailed girl could clearly see my weakness, a weakness fed by a strange and sensuous dream. With a joyless laugh she said those lines again. I'm selling all my mother's clothes, her lingerie, skirts and coats. Her beauty was as pure as this affair is sordid. And I'm selling all my mother's clothes, and yes, I find it morbid. She showed me last a handbag made of velvet. In it were expensive stones like amethyst and jade. Black sapphires had been shaped just like a rose. For the funeral of a lover, her mother had them made. It probably was Paris where he died, is what she said, as this big forgotten daughter glanced towards the window. I'll sell the sapphires cheap, the man's long dead. With a vacant laugh she gave those lines again. I'm selling all my mother's clothes, her lingerie, her skirts and coats. Her beauty was as pure as this affair is sordid. And I'm selling all my mother's clothes, and yes, I find it morbid.
A single bell with plaintive strokes pleads louder than the stirring oaks. The leafless lanes along, the leafless lanes along. It calls the choir boys from their tea, and villagers, the 2 or 3, damp down the kitchen fire, damp down the kitchen fire. Let out the cat and up the lane, go paddling through the gentle rain of misty Oxfordshire, of misty Oxfordshire. On country mornings sharp and clear, the penitent in faith draw near, and kneeling here below, kneeling here below, partake the heavenly banquet spread of sacramental wine and bread, and Jesus' presence know, and Jesus' presence know. And must that plaintive bell in vain plead loud along the dripping lane? And must the building fall? And must the building fall? Not while we love the church and live, and of our charity we'll give our much, our more, our all, our much, our more, our all. Not while we love the church and live, and of our charity we'll give our much, our more, our all, our much, our more, our all. Across the wet November night, the church is bright with candlelight, and waiting even song, and waiting even song. A single bell with plaintive strokes pleads louder than the stirring oaks. The leaf